In the great dawn there was only the dark void, the cold sweeping nothingness and non-existence. But a great primordial force awoken in the universe and unleashed a great power beyond comprehension. And over the millennia life began to appear across the planet known as Xol to the native people of the great continent of Orgaria. In the early years there was only small clans of distinct races. The Virakians who inhabited the desert regions of Orgaria were a nomadic people traveling from one side of the Merry Desert to another, constructing mighty temples in the sand wastes. Out of all the other races on the continent, the Virakians are by far the most warlike. Some of their kind even develop bat-like wings. This is a sign of strength and wisdom. From an early age, a Virakian chosen to become a warrior is sent to take a journey through the mountains to collect water from the springs alone. Some return as future warriors, and others are mourned and then forgotten. Though other tribes on the continent worship peaceful gods, the Virakians worship gods of war, steel and blood. For years the Virakians waged countless wars against the ogres to the east and minor skirmishes with the avian Platiborgs to the north. These constant wars harbored a martial culture, which is perhaps why they were once the biggest contender on the continent. The Platiborgs, also known as the Platiborg, were the avian creatures primarily residing in the Teniburam island, using the large trees to construct villages, and like the warlike Virakians, the Platiborgs lived a more peaceful, diplomatic life. As the saying goes, the best way to defeat an enemy is to make him your friend. For countless years the Platiborgs have created alliances on the mainland in hopes to deter any invasion on the island of Teniburam, their homeland. Though the island has never fallen, there is always a first time for everything. Aliens are cousin race to the Platiborgs, avians like them but more savage in nature. They were mostly gathering in small but numerous scavenger clans, looting the various battlegrounds of the fourth race on the planet, the ogres. The ogres inhabited the eastern part of the continent, construction mighty cities and strongholds. And finally the race known as the Zanzilla, a race of ancient scholars and architects. The wisdom of the Zanzilla is best reflected in their mighty city Krogo, the closest thing Orgaria has to a human city. Over time these races were united under a single great tribe, with their capital being the ancient city of Krogo, the shining jewel in the Merry Desert. For hundreds of years the races lived in harmony under the banner of the great tribe, but this harmony was not to last. On the dawn of the harvest festival in the city of Kroga, the 14th chieftain of the great tribe, Maroka, was murdered by his power-hungry son, Relenta, who aimed to seize power in the great tribe. As the new chieftain Relenta was crowned at his coronation, the tribal leaders of the Virake, Platiborg and ogre race found out that Relenta killed his father in order to be crowned as the new chieftain. They banded together and confronted Relenta. When confronted by the tribal leaders, Relenta had his royal guard kill them in the Great Hall of Chieftains. Relenta, to ensure his control over the great tribal city, had his guard slaughter those not of the Zanzilla race. This act of violence led to a major civil war known as the Great Schism. After years of civil war and bloodshed, the separatists of the Virakians, Platiborgs, and ogres take control over Kroga and kill Relenta, ending the war. As the war came to a close, the new Virakian chieftain claimed the great throne of Kroga for his own newly formed Virakian tribe of Merry. With the war over, the other races of the separatist movement left to their homeland with haste to establish their own new tribes and prepare for the new dawn of Xol. The Zanzilla people, with their city now under the control of the Virakians, who suffered the most under the rule of Relenta, banished the remaining Zanzilla into the Orgarian wilderness, leaving their fate in the hands of the primal gods.